Hello, folks. I'm back. I started the video and we had a little bit of a technical issue, but I'm here. I hope that you find me here. Um, my name is Nadia Dela Cruz. I started the Wayne Dyer Wisdom Community back in 2015. I can't believe it's been almost 9 years since he passed. This is actually the anniversary of the day that he died, and I wanted us to get together and just honor his life, his legacy, his teachings, give you an opportunity to share some of your stories or ask questions. I know so many of you have incredible memories of going to see Dr. Wayne Dyer live or getting his book back in the 70s or at any time that it came to you in perfect divine timing. Uh, and how he has impacted your life. I discovered Dr. Wayne Dyer on PBS when I was a teenager. And so he's been with me for a long time in terms of impacting the way that I look at the world and what's possible for human beings. And he continues to be a source of inspiration. I kind of want to say that I can't believe it's been 9 years since Dr. Wayne Dyer passed. The grief still feels kind of um, fresh and present in a way, but also it does feel like a long time. It does feel, and maybe it's different for you, but for me, a lot of things in my life has changed since then. My own father passed away 5 years ago, so things have happened in the world. I mean, we've been through this pandemic, and everything's changing. It's always changing. So it does feel like a while since Wayne was here sharing his wisdom with us, his comforting words. I was always so inspired by the things that he would say. I love listening to his radio show. And, he would talk about current events or little things, and you knew he was paying attention, you knew that he cared, and maybe he still is. I believe that he is. Of course, I believe that he is. So, welcome to this live video. If you're here with me now, let me know where you're joining me from. And if you have anything that you want to share about Dr. Wayne Dyer, now's a great time to do it. Devani, namaste. Thank you for being here. So, um, why are we here? Well, let's start with the Wayne Dyer Wisdom Community. We've had a lot of new members joining us, and I'm so happy to see you finding your way here. I know some of you are new to Wayne Dyer's teachings, and some of you have been following his work from the beginning. And he had this unique ability to reach so many of us. I think that's one of the amazing things about Wayne was that he didn't just write incredible books. He wasn't just a scholar of ancient wisdom, but he got on these talk shows, and he had this visibility and this reach, and I think part of his appeal was just the way he spoke to us, like reached our hearts. There was so much common sense. He spoke as a father of 8 children, and I think, at least in my case, he felt a little bit like a father to so many of us. And he was actually the same age as my dad. So there's a connection there for me. Um, so Wayne Dyer was born on May 10th in 1940, and he passed away on August 30th of 2015. He was 75 when he died. It came as a real shock to me, so probably came as a shock to many people when he passed away. He had just come back from a trip to Australia and New Zealand, giving talks, doing what he loves, living the life. His daughter was with him, and he came back to Hawaii, and he had a heart attack in the night. So you will see some posts, or I think Wikipedia may list his death as August 29th. You'll see it as both August 29th and August 30th. I think that's because he passed away overnight. It was told to me as the 30th when it happened, and he used to wake up at 3:13 in the morning. So maybe that's when he returned to God. He used to talk about that our life is this parentheses in eternity. We come from nowhere to now here back to nowhere again. It's just a question of spacing. And he used to say that, everything happens for a reason. Nobody dies before it's their time. There's no coincidences. He believed that. He lived that. And I think that even the day that he died was so significant in his message and, supporting the things that he was teaching us. August 30th was a date that Dr. Wayne Dyer described as the most significant day of his life, because that was the day that through a series of synchronicities, he found his way to his father's grave, where he was going to piss on the grave. Sorry to shock you folks. He had a lot of rage toward this man who had abandoned his family, who wasn't there for them, and it plagued him. And these events came together where he ended up at his father's grave, and instead of anger, what came through him was this moment of grace where he forgave his father. And he said, "From now on, I send you love." And he came back from that trip and he went to a hotel and he wrote Your Erroneous Zones in 2 weeks. He started exercising. His life turned around. Everything shifted. It's like the doors opened for him where previously it felt like they had been closed. The limits in his life were removed. Marianne, yes, he was one of a kind. And when he passed away and he was like the headliner for Hay House, people are like, well, who's going to replace him? Well, there is no replacement for Dr. Wayne Dyer. But what he was teaching us is that the things that he recognized in the patterns of life, the things that were possible are possible for you. They're true for you. That potential exists within you. That you must be like what you came from. I was thinking about how he talked about this connection to source. That we are always connected to this divine energy in the universe, this energy that creates worlds, also created you, also causes, the sun to rise and the flowers to grow. It's this essence of life that is God. I don't use that term a lot because there are so many teachings around God as being this man in the sky who judges you. Wayne didn't believe that. I don't believe that either. But I do believe that there is this source energy that you're always connected to. So he said it's not about reconnecting to source. It's how corroded is that link. And that we can have these practices or these moments in nature or meditation or just a miracle, which is defined as a shift in perception, right? It is a miracle to all of a sudden see things differently, that you can do that. So he had a miracle on August 30th, on the day that he forgave his father, and it changed his life. That's also the day that he passed away on. It was sudden, it was unexpected. I know people heard that he had leukemia. He was diagnosed with leukemia. He'd gone through all these healing practices. He believed that he was healed. The family reported that the autopsy showed no evidence of leukemia in his body when he passed, that it was a heart attack. His heart stopped in the night. So I wish he was still with us. What I wouldn't give for another Wayne Dyer talk or a new book. But maybe it was divine timing. And maybe his work was done. He put so much into his writing and his talks. He wrote over 40 books in his lifetime, and I really believe they're still applicable today. They still offer us so much. I think they will continue to generations to come. The first book that I read was this one, You'll See It When You Believe It. And this was his first book about spirituality. The subline is the way to your personal transformation. I love this book. I still love it. I love so many of the books that he put out. I love listening to his live lectures the best. Um, how did you discover Wayne? Have you read his books? Do you have a favorite? Did you ever get to see him in person? I'd love to hear your stories. Tell me where you're joining from. Um, so here we are. It's been 9 years. Uh, there is a void. There is a void without Wayne Dyer in our lives. Um, but I think that everything that he put into all of these recordings and all of these books, the answers are there. Whatever you're struggling with, whatever you're worried about, the answers are there. He wanted to help us alleviate suffering. He wanted us to pick ourselves up out of experiencing life as a victim. He wanted us to find our point of power in the present moment. To get that clarity in our lives, to feel encouraged, to feel on purpose, to connect with that sense of passion, to do what you love and love what you do. He studied human potential in college. And he looked around and said, everybody should know this. And he made it his mission to bring it to us. And wow, did he do it. Wow, did he do it. This is a painting I made of Dr. Wayne Dyer in 2020. It's been 4 years now. I painted that on August 30th that year, on same day we're at now, the anniversary of his passing. And I love just knowing that his presence is still here, his teachings are still here. Our loved ones who has crossed over, they're still here. And we're not alone. Being human is not for the faint of heart. I think that we are courageous souls to be walking this path on the planet, and what a fascinating time to be on the planet. And I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that you're always connected to Source. I want you to know that nobody's above you or below you, that, as Ram Dass said, we're all walking each other home. Whew. I'm here because he touched my heart. I'm here because Dr. Wayne Dyer changed the direction of my life. And as much as I wish he was still here, we are still here. Through all the muck, we're still here. We're still here. And I'm glad that you're here. And boy, do I love a good meme. I really do. I save them on my phone. They inspire me. But I love a good conversation more. So as much as social media has its limits and its challenges, and it does, and technology can give us a lot of headaches, it also enables us to meet. It enables us to connect. And these connections are real. You may be on the other side of the world. You may be in a different part of this country. But we're here in this moment. Even if you're watching this replay, we're still connected. Time and space is an illusion. We're still connected. So I started the Wayne Dyer Wisdom Community a few days after he passed away because I was looking for other people who got it, who felt sad over his passing, who were passionate about his teachings, who were still reading his books, And I dug out all of my library of Wayne Dyer books and videos, and I had this whole book of CDs of his. And I was like, I'm going through all of this again. I'm so grateful for these like treasures that I have. I'm so grateful for everything that he recorded for us. And I wanted to dive back in. And I thought, if I start this little group on Facebook, it can be part of my spiritual practice and I can share quotes that are inspiring me. I can find other people who um, share a passion for this. And boy, did I, because it took time. But we have over 125,000 people in the Wayne Dyer Wisdom Community. This is the largest Wayne Dyer Wisdom or Wayne Dyer group fan page, is really what this is on social media. And I don't take that lightly. I think it's important that his teachings are still circulating, and any part that I can do in that, it really lights me up. I love coming into this space and seeing your posts and seeing the way people respond to other people's posts. There's so much love and support here. And, um, we're together. Isn't that the point? This connection. This is what I'm seeking. And maybe this is what you're seeking too. We're looking for connection. I think we want community. I think it feeds us. I love a good meme, but I love a good conversation more. So for a while, I was doing a Facebook Live here every month. And then I thought, you know what? This is great. I love seeing your comments. I love being able to have some connection with you, virtual or otherwise. Um, but boy, I'd love to see your faces. Boy, I'd love to have it actually be a conversation. Well, we're not all going to get in the same room together. You're probably not even in Seattle. But we can meet online. So I started doing this on Zoom. We started the spiritual discussion group. We've been on hiatus for quite a while. Life happens, folks. But it's coming back because I love a good conversation. I think that we really can inspire each other. I think it's a great way for us to get to know one another. If you're looking for spiritual community and maybe you don't have it where you are, or you're looking for something online, come try it out. Our first meeting is Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific time. You can learn all about it at nadiadelacruz.com. I also put it in the events for the Wayne Dyer Wisdom Community. Our first meeting is free. I want you to have an opportunity to try it out, see if it's a good fit for you, see if it's something you'd like to continue with. We are going to start meeting every week, and I'm really excited about that. We're going to do an hour every week. After the first one, it's going to be a $5 drop in. I'm hoping that makes it accessible for everyone who has an interest. If it doesn't, message me and we'll find a way to bring you in. Um, Dan Morley is going to be joining me. He is now in Grand Lake, Colorado. Hello, Dan. Thank you for joining us tonight. Marianne, yes, I remember you from Kyle Gray's Angel Team. Yay, Angels. Mary, yes, YouTube has many of his talks. Audible has a lot of content you can get there. Hay House still has a lot of things. Param, how wonderful. You know what? That's my sign for Wayne, too, that number 313. That's my sign for Wayne, and I see it all over the place and always at the perfect time. So Dan Morley, I had him on the podcast. So I have a podcast that I started for this group called Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. I had Dan on 3 years ago now. Him and his wife won tickets to go see Dr. Wayne Dyer the year after I saw him in Maui. And I got to have them on and talk to them about that experience in their life. And they have, he lives just outside of Chicago, and they have been doing mindfulness retreats. And he is going to help me out with the discussion group. I'm so excited. We're going to have like a guided meditation and a little talk and open it up for group discussion. It's just an hour, so I hope it fits into your day. And I really hope that you can join us starting Tuesday, nadiadelacruz.com. So here we are, 9 years later. 9 years later. Um, it's hard to believe, but the impact continues. And I feel like Dr. Wayne Dyer is one of these people that we're going to be talking about, we're going to be reading about for the rest of our lives. I think it's going to transfer down into other generations. It already is, right? There's something timeless about this ancient wisdom that he was passionate about, that he was researching, and he would bring these um, new ways of thinking, new ways of thinking about what is possible for you. And I know that whenever I make time to meditate, whenever I make time to read something that inspires me, whenever I make time just to set some sacred space or sit in a community with others, it fuels my soul, it feeds me. And um, I'm grateful for all of you here in the Wayne Dyer Wisdom Community. I hope to get to know more of you more. We are stronger together. And if you have any other stories or things that you'd like to share, please pop them in the comments before we wrap up today. One of my favorite memories with Dr. Wayne Dyer was his first lecture in Maui, his first retreat was, I believe it was 2017. And he was living on Maui, of course. And he said, you know what? I'm going to let you guys come over here. And I was like, Wayne Dyer and Maui, that's like two of my favorite things. I have to go there. So I practiced his teachings for manifesting and manifested the time off and the money that I needed to get there. And it was something that I will never forget. Um, it's so beautiful on the island. I really love it there. It was not my first time to Maui. It just enhanced my love for the island. My favorite memory was when we all swam in the ocean. So it was like a 3-day conference. And in the evening after one of our meetings, he was like, oh, I'm going to go for my swim. He would walk down the beach to Black Rock, dive in, and he would meditate while he would swim, and he would swim back to his condo. And I would say about 20 of us went with him. He invited us to come and all jumped in the ocean. And it was just so amazing just being there, feeling the island, feeling connected to nature, feeling so inspired. He said, you know, never doubt that a small, committed group of individuals can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. I can't remember who that quote is from. It wasn't his quote. If you remember, put it in the comments for me. And that was just the energy of that week. And I came back to Seattle. I came back to my life, and I just felt connected and inspired. I felt like anything was possible. And he was talking about excuses be gone. And he said, well, we were really there for the Tao to change your thoughts, change your life, living the wisdom of the Tao. I don't have it here. That's the book he signed for me. He was talking about that, but the next book he was working on was Excuses Be Gone. And he said, I've talked to you for years about what to think, right? Here are the thoughts that will support you. But now he says, I want to talk about how to change old thinking patterns. And that's what that book was about. And he walked people through practices that weekend of changing. I think a couple people moved to Hawaii after that. That's how inspiring this was. It was really awesome. I did get a chance to see him in Seattle with my husband. I've seen him a few times. But really, I'm just a super fan, like so many of you. So I get it. I totally get it. And I love seeing your stories in the group. So I think we're going to wrap it up for today. It's about 6:30 now. Thank you for spending this half an hour with me. Thank you for sharing this heart space to honor the life, the legacy, the teachings of my mentor, Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. I'm grateful for his life. I'm grateful for the unique ability, the talent he had in bringing forth this wisdom in a way that was so accessible and so easy to put into practice for our lives. And he will continue to inspire me for the rest of my days. And I hope that he does for you as well. I look forward to seeing some of you in the spiritual discussion group Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific time. If you can't make the time, I am offering a video replay, so you can still sign up for that. Again, this one's free, so don't hesitate. NadiaDelacruz.com. Go to the events tab or find the events up in the Wayne Dyer Wisdom Community. Thank you for being here. Love to you all. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.